Black people.
Maybe I should. I know, I have to pee right now.
Stash Rachel's equipment, maybe it's with it. Okay.
That'll be about, I don't know, 11:45 or so.
I was watching outside.
So if you get up and you think, you're feeling comfortable, yeah, feels it. And if I don't see you like tomorrow morning, I'll see you at the way over here.
Rocket League, bro.
Yep.
Fireball, dude. Cool, so your video is going to come through this guy?
Yeah.
And then your audio is going to go through your headphone jack, so you just want to make sure you're outputting audio to your speaker.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wireless. Is that a blue stuff?
This is probably like 3 days actually. Yeah. This is a week. This is my beard. Been working on it for. What are you drinking? I'm gonna drink a party beer. Yeah, I'm not. I wish they actually did this. I can have a. Yeah.
So you got audio, you're good?
Yep. Cool.
So how long do you want or need?
What's that?
How long do you think you want your, yeah.
30 max.
30? Okay. So I'll just tell the servers to do a first call, last call, and I'll announce that.
Okay. I can't imagine it taking longer than that, right?
It's time to take your body to the dance floor. Show 'em what you got. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug, wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug, wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes.
I think that should be it.
Where's like their secret internet?
Oh, and that's Brandon. Hey, hey.
I don't have plugins, but I have password.
Oh.
So tired.
Go to FF private.
I just got here like 2 hours ago. I'm like, yeah, let's party. Everyone's like, oh, kill me now.
And tomorrow is an early morning also, so I have to be there like long days.
Yeah.
Jump into the concept and all.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like something we can throw up underneath them. Oh, does this work?
Put CPU versus CPU. Just put that on loop. Wiggle like a bug. I don't know you're gonna do it. Oh well. So fucked up.
Browse station.
Huh?
Welcome to Hellmouth. Round 1.
I'd like a sandwich with no bread.
Did you guys, is it still the original version that's on the cabinet, or did you guys update the one on the cabinet too?
It should be the
Cabinet's the split screen.
yeah. It should be the latest one. Yeah. We might. Well, we've been slowly making sneaky updates.
That's the way to do it.
I think everybody's been doing that.
And, like finding bugs by watching Let's Plays on YouTube and
Yeah.
be like, oh fuck. Like, rush to like fix it.
Did you guys see that the bundle started finally making some money today?
Yeah. That's really good.
Actually, I haven't checked that in about an hour and a half. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you for
absolutely.
waiting.
Yeah. I love this festival.
You too.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hi. Hi. Hello. 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 Hi, Bubba. Hello. Hi, Ivan.
All right, so you guys, you've been with the other panels.
I have
Be afraid to,
not.
because we're streaming it, and all they can hear is the mics. So even if like we can hear you talking, unless you like get up next to the mic, nobody will hear you.
So like
be
really
afraid
get
to,
into it.
Yeah, just fucking let's interior it.
Oh.
You can take it off the stand. It's easier for most people.
This is more efficient. I feel like I'm at the UN.
Yeah, you could do the fucking Diamanda Galas and just two mics at once.
And I.
Just a karaoke. It's just karaoke.
They put in a karaoke song?
Did you say I made the class?
Karaoke?
I wanted to, I missed it though.
Not yet.
I think Phil did karaoke today, and I missed it because I had this like kitchen anniversary that I had to schedule.
Oh my god.
Wait, your own?
Yeah.
Oh.
Snuck out for an hour, went to Fiji, and like had appetizers and cocktails. I did it for like
That's nice.
real romantic.
What year is it?
What year is it?
Yeah.
4?
Wait, did you get married during a fantastic test?
It hasn't ever been this late before. Hasn't ever been this late in the year before. But we got married like a week after or after Peter Chess. So that was kind of stressful. There's always something happening this time of year.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it happens in threes. Marriage, movie, mess. Yeah. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea always happens in threes.
It's like diarrhea, death, and dump.
It's technically diarrhea.
It's
You're just
solid.
talking about diarrhea. No one's here. That's alright.
There's a character.
Let me tweet real quick.
So I just wanted to take a second and thank our sponsors that helped Fantastic Arcade happen this year. Wanted to thank Humble, wanted to thank Sony PlayStation, Discount Electronics, GameRoomSolutions.com, our friend Dougal Grimes from Hasbro, and Alienware. Those are our awesome sponsors that you'll hear about for every half hour till the rest of your life till this is over.
Thanks so much, everybody, for coming back in. I know it's really late, but this is going to be a super special panel. We're really excited about it. Up on the stage, we have Ivan Safrin, Thu Tran, and Bobo Dai, and they worked on a game this year called Hellmouth. It's one of our cabinet games. It's available on humble.com/weekly. For like one more day, you can get it. And it's the only way you can get this game right now. You can see it up above. Are you guys ready to go? You need to talk about some Hellmouth?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Hey,
let's rock
guys.
it. Everybody, a big round of applause for Team Hellmouth.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hellmouth panel. We're gonna talk about this game and how we made it and all that stuff. So right now it's going, and how should I start? Like what it's about? Okay, so Hellmouth is about Hellmouth is a cooking game that takes place in hell, they're like these two little bugs, and they're like the private chefs of the devil, and they like have a they have a good relationship with the devil. They just like want to make him some food, and they just go about it in this interesting way. Look at them go do it.
There's like a giant bug on the table.
Oh yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. It's like a cockroach.
I think so.
We're not talking about the game anymore. Is this a real bug?
Yeah, it's a cool bug.
It's a real bug. Oh yeah. We're from New York. We don't see a lot of animals.
So I guess we're gonna show some older builds of this game. You get
I'm gonna exit out of this. So originally, when we were talking about wait, where's the stuff?
it's in this folder.
Oh, so when we were first talking about making a game for Fantastic, Thu really wanted to make a claw game because she's really into claw
I just
claw stuff, and she made this animation and was like, "Can we make this?"
yeah.
And
This was the concept animation I made for this claw game that I thought might be cool. Cause I watched like a bunch of YouTubes of like just a baby stuck in a claw machine, and I thought it was so cool, and I thought that would be so fun.
but then there was like fluid physics involved all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
it got really complicated. And we kind of talked a lot about like what the actual game would be. And I personally had some doubts about the claw as a game mechanic, which I don't even know if that's a game mechanic. But I think secretly I really hate the claw games because they're always really frustrating and just
Yeah.
designed to fuck you over.
And then like it might not be as like rewarding digitally, cause like the appeal of a claw game is you might get a toy, you know, and like if it's like a video game, you don't really get anything in real life, so it might not be as cool. Then we decided to make a soapbox car game.
Yeah, well, it was the whole time I was like trying not to like shoehorn Thu into making a game about food, because I'm like that's I don't, it's not your whole
Yeah.
thing. We can do something else.
Yeah.
And then like eventually it just kept coming back to food, and then we started looking at like YouTube videos of other games, and there's all these like games now that are popular where you like make stuff like what was that game? The Besieged, yeah, like and Kerbal Space Program. We're like, oh, let's make a game where you like make a car out of food, and
Yeah. I was like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. It's like you're putting ingredients together, except like instead of eating it, you could like make a car with it. And we thought it'd be really cool if like instead of like driving it, you just like roll it down a ramp, and then like the ramp could be like a tongue, you know, like in the tongue could be like Satan, you know, so like you could like roll the food down the tongue into Satan's mouth. So that was kind of like how Hellmouth started.
yeah, and like we started with some prototypes, and this one. The vital part of this prototype is the music, and so. So we'll turn that off. And we basically were trying to figure out what, like, it started as this thing where you had to like drag ingredients together, and you like jumped around and picked them up. And I'm gonna actually play this game because it's really boring. But when we actually got to the car building part, we realized that it was really, really complicated to like make a game where you actually drag parts into place and then build something out of them.
Yeah.
And then so slowly we kind of like went away from the idea of the car game and just more into one where you're just cooking food for the devil. And this was our first kind of prototype where I'm gonna stop talking into the mic. This was our first prototype, and you basically just ran around and picked up food and then cooked it.
And there's like sauce bottles that like squirt out sauce, like hot sauce, and yeah, and like there's smoke that comes out when you put it on the pan, so it makes you think like you're cooking it. And next to the frying pan is a deep fryer. That's like what that square is with the yellow stuff in it. And oh, you put this button here too. That drains the oil, right?
Yeah, you can put the button, drains the
I
oil,
remember
so you can go in there.
So like you would have had to like drain the oil to get the objects out, but otherwise, if you went into the deep fryer, like that's bad. So we developed that further, and we got this. So this is kind of like the premise of like Hell Classic, which is like the first level that we built for this game. And I've even got really into Crazy Bump, which is like how those columns were textured. I just like painted some stuff, and then like he just wrapped that in there. And
We stopped using Crazy Bump because everything looked like a veiny penis.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I didn't say anything at first, and then and then finally he was like, "Guys, is that what you want?"
I was into it.
Crazy Bump is pretty cool. You can give it any texture on it. Yes. Questions? Oh, great. I would love to meet him and shake his hand. But yeah, consider this a double plug for Crazy Bump. Crazy Bump. Anyway, that was kind of how the game evolved from a claw game into a car building game, and then finally
into a cooking game. And then like once it kind of became a cooking game, it actually like became easier to kind of like make up content for it and make art for it. And it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna make a cooking game. Let's just focus on this because it's like August, and let's do this. So.
This was my directed by Hideo Kojima moment. Plug my own framework at every chance I get. So this is what the game looks like now. So it started out as just a multiplayer-only game, but because it was in the bundle, the night before the bundle came out, we had a collective panic attack where we're like, people are going to download it and not have anyone to play it with. So then the night before the Humble launched, I stayed up till 6 in the morning and wrote like AI for the game to play the game against the player and added a single player
and I
mode.
watched him.
Well, we got him cookies and like stuff.
You can watch the computer play against itself, and it's not very good. I'm not an AI programmer, as you can see, but it does manage to.
They'll get up the stairs and like try to get stuff.
They do all right. Not so bad. They cook the food. They bring it to the plate. It was kind of a crazy thing to do in one day. But it does work. It's actually kind of fun to play against the computer. So, and I'm glad because there's some people who play it on YouTube and they play against the computer and have fun. But it's alright. I can show you how the AI is done. It's really terrible. Oh, just a little framework I wrote called Polycode. No big deal. Unity sucks. Oh wow. Well, never mind. As it fails to resize. Anyway, you can see how the AI works in this game. It's just manually placed these navigation nodes that the AI uses to figure out where to go, and that's really the way that it works. It's super janky, but it worked. And yeah, that was the development of Hellmouth. I wanna pass the mic over to Tu, who's gonna talk about the art that we did for the game.
Hey guys, so I drew a bunch of pictures for this game. I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's in this presentation. Here we go. Play. So these are some foods. I was trying to figure out what kind of foods you would eat in hell, but it couldn't be too weird because it still kind of had to make sense. What kind of ingredients go together, but it couldn't make too much sense because you're in hell, So there wouldn't really be normal food in hell. So it was kind of difficult to kind of like strike a balance between foods that were kind of like interesting, but also like you would want to cook, you know. I here they are painted in. There's some apples. So like you would eat an avocado, but if you put some veins in it, it looks like it might come from hell. It's like I like Haribo, you know, but like maybe if they were maggots, that might be gross. And like I like Cheetos, but like they look like turds, you know, so maybe they're like turds in hell. Old salad, so it's like kind of 80s. And then like there's like a biblical reference there, because like hell is, I guess, like a Christian punishment. And there's like some sauces. And then like these didn't really make it in, but these are like carbs. And then these there might be things you yeah, same kind of themes, you know, things you might want to eat, but like not really. There's some more, some blood orange juice and some heavy cream. Grape jealous, you know, because jealousy is evil. And peanut butter with like a snake, because that's like hell. And some bread and butter. Yeah, it was like kind of like if you like put bugs or veins or like a severed, it looks severed. Oh yeah, I really like this hot pizza because it has like sliced jalapenos on it. Because it's like spicy, which is like hot because you're in hell. And there's like a cockroach on that cake, but it still looks like you would eat it, you know? That was kind of the trick, was like I would still eat that, but it's like kind of not quite right, you know? There's some more steaks, some legs. These two look pretty good, but then like these two, I don't know. But they're like similar. And then these two things, I like these two things too, but that chicken makes me feel a little bit weird. I like eating these two things too. It's an oxtail and a pig foot. They're good. But I don't know. It's like also like a cut off foot and a cut off tail. That's pretty weird. Egg fetus and a deviled egg. Like the devil in hell. And here's some herbs. A lot of these vegetables didn't make it into the game, but they're like there's like a rosemary's baby and some burning sage and a little bit of asparagus.
So one thing about all these assets that Thu hasn't mentioned is that she hand painted all of these with like actual, like, was it acrylic paint?
Yeah, I just painted these because I just didn't want to work on a computer anymore. I got so sick of it, so I just like sat and drew all these and then painted them. And I gave them to Bobo and was like, here, deal with this. And then here's some character art. They started off looking like this. I thought it'd be cool if it was like a barbecue game and they had skewers on their head. So they kind of started off looking like this. And then it was like, oh man, Gremlins is so cool. So, and I like how like it's like cute but not, you know, just like our food. So then made these guys, and then like Ivan was just like, oh, let's just do one, you know, and then just like change the colors of them. I'm like, okay, so it's like, oh, we'll just do two. So we made two. So this is and then like we gotta name them. So I named the brown one Chef Butt and the blue one Chef Fluffy, because the brown one looks kind of like a butt and the blue one is kind of like a bunny. So that's like what you name a bunny, right? Fluffy. But they're kind of like a mix of a bunch of different animals combined together, and their horns are like arms, because I just thought it'd be extra work to make arms, so the horns are arms too. And then I was like, what does the devil look like? And I'm a big fan of Botero, so like this is like a Botero painting of a pope, and I just like how the head is big and the face is small. So I made like one version of it that looked like this, and then he looks like this, and then he looks like this, and these are different faces he could make. And then, this is the announcer is like a Chief Wahoo, or like he was, and then like we took him out. But he was cool when he was in there. Here's some level stuff that I thought. I mean, I don't really. This is like all the hell stuff that people do. It's always like these like circles with like the Dante one where it's like a funnel with like the rings and shit. So it was like this one kind of like simulates that kind of shape from that story. This is a painting of that. This is the Last Supper. That's like a Christian thing too, but like we thought it'd be cool to make it hell themed. It's a church. And then this started off as like a hell mall, but then it became like the Hell Lobster Center. You can see it later in the game. And this was a rejected level, but I thought it'd be cool to have a Hell B-ball, like Hell basketball, and like the logo for it was like this like Shielanagig. Is that the name? Yeah. And
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just this really ancient fertility sculpture of like this woman like spreading her like vag mouth open. And I thought that was so cool. So I turned that into a Chicago Bulls logo. Okay, I want to pass it off to Bobo now.
I'm really sad this one didn't make it in.
But we're going to make a new Hellmouth update.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about back. Start here. Okay, our process in the asset creation. So I got these drawings and paintings from two, and the normal process of creating art in game art is to you have concept, and then you have what is it? Sorry. Down more. Up. Where are you? Okay. It is here. The normal process of making game art is you have concept, and then you model the geometry, and then you UV unmap it, and then you make the textures for it. But this way, it takes way long, super long, and we didn't have it because we're indie developers, and normally you just don't have enough time and resources to do that. So we had to innovate and change the process. And I was going to talk about the inspiration where we got the idea of changing the order of our procedure to maximize our efficiency. But I'm not going to talk about that.
What is?
Okay, maybe I'll talk about it. Okay, so in 2007, Intel came up with a new process to make CPUs, and so there's a gate first and a gate last idea. And so in CPU fabrication, you have all these different layers of materials that you have to lay down, and you have your silicon, and then you put your gate down, and you have your source, and then your drain. And so what Intel did was they switched the gate to last, and what that did was it changed the efficiency and the risks and costs. So some of the merits of the previous way of doing it, you save on cost, but then there's voltage leakage. And so what Intel did was they put a lot more money into the process, and they got a more efficient way of making CPUs. And so the idea is that your order in your procedure would either give you more efficiency or it'll cost more to make. And so
there is no voltage leakage in our game, just throwing it out there.
So here is a little video demo that I made that would show you the difference between texture first, texture UV first, and texture UV last.
Should we put guess song under it or something.
We can.
I guess I'll just go into iTunes. Is that too much?
How about Dance Like a Bug?
Oh, okay. I wonder if that's too hard. We'll just watch it in silence.
Okay.
Don't play anything copyrighted.
Okay. Okay, so it took me about
Happy
30 minutes.
birthday to.
It took me about 30 minutes to make the same model. The one on the right is a more traditional way of making it, where you have your concept and then you model the model based on the concept. Whereas the left way, you have your concept and you use your concept art as the texture, and so you cut up the texture and that creates your UVs as you model, and so it saves you a whole process in the development. And
It's actually kind of an amazing way to work, because we started when we made our last game for Cleveland Games. We kind of arrived at this workflow almost like unwittingly, like it just kind of happened, and we kind of stuck with it. And it wastes a lot of texture space from a programming point of view, because sometimes you'll map it to a concept art that's drawn like in the corner of a really giant image. But it's kind of amazing because it's so quick. Like, Two would give Bobo the concept art, and then Bobo would have a fully textured model ready in like, I don't know, 20 minutes. So
30.
you could 30. Don't be so modest. So it's actually I've actually never seen that done before, where people would just model the model and map it to the concept art. But it works really, really well.
And so there's advantages and disadvantages for doing this. You have less pixels to work with because you're not maximizing the pixels on your texture. But as indie game developers, you actually don't need those extra textures.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Okay. Do you guys we can watch something else too. Is this cool?
Bobo actually modeled the same thing twice just to prove his point. And this is him racing against himself, modeling it 2 different ways.
It might be interesting to some of the artists that deal with 3D assets.
There you go.
Another advantage is that you're working with the textures as you go, and so your reference is there in 3D. You're not going back and forth between the geometry and your reference. Your reference is your geometry, which helps you model.
Oh wow. That's how you make the snake tongue?
So this took about 30 minutes for both of the models, but the end result, you'll see in a second, is a little bit different. And another thing about this process is that you don't really have to UV unmap or UV unwrap the model, which is something that I really hate doing, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but it's the most tedious part, and it causes a lot of anxiety in my life. So if I could skip that part, it's easier to be in this business.
So another cool side effect of that is that every single texture in Hellmouth is actually hand painted with acrylic paint, which is kind of cool. And we're actually, for our future games, we've been talking about like making a workflow where we could have a camera that is then recording to painting and then projecting onto an unwrapped onto a 3D model, so she could like acrylic paint an actual model that's already been modeled. But it's a rig that we still have to build.
Yeah, it's just whatever. It sounds a little lazy crazy, right? Where like you like don't do all the steps you're supposed to, but you go out of your way to do the thing you don't want to do.
Well, if you're not getting paid to make a game, it should be fun to do.
We're gonna make millions on this humble bundle, Bubba. Just like I promised you.
We're running short on time, but I feel really bad because that goofy-ass car soccer game cut so much into you guys' talk. Does anybody have any questions?
Oh shit! Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to play some sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, this was one of my favorite parts of this game. Actually, was like recording all the voiceover. My friend Ted, he's like a radio dude, and I was like, oh yeah, I think his voice is so cool, you know. So Ivan was like, oh yeah, this is like a cool reward, you know. It's like just like having someone say good job, you know. It's like yeah.
Well, part of the inspiration for the game was Iron Chef, and we wanted to have like people commenting in the background over like what you were doing. And I did a prototype of me, like I just recorded a whole bunch of comments and was like playing it every time something happened, and it got like really, really annoying after about 2 minutes, and I realized why no one ever does that in games unless you record like a million different sounds. But we did end up putting some of that.
Fight! I mean, cook! Hey, folks, hey, we are in the HE double hockey sticks. It's a sweltering 666 degrees in here, folks. Tonight, 2 chefs enter. Round 1. Round 2. Round 3. Welcome to Hellmouth. Welcome to Hellmouth. Welcome to Hellmouth. Welcome to Hellmouth. Oh no, why? What a waste. Hell no. A horrible life decision. Those don't go together. Too salty. Bloody hell. There's no time for that. Chef down.
Wait, I want to show you guys that this was scripted. It's not improv, okay? You can read along. Okay.
Who wrote all those?
It was me and my friend Ari wrote all these lines. Devil.
Ew. This dish deserves an award for best losing dish. I hate this food. If this meal was on the house, I would still upper deck it. This tastes weird. I wouldn't eat this, and that's saying a lot. The flavor of death was not overpowering enough. This dish belongs in the dumpster with the rest of its family members.
No, this has like I'm gonna skip number 8.
How could
Yeah,
you?
there was a
How could you
off-color,
do this to your friend Satan? This bad taste will cause you eternal heartburn. Bon appetito, my little Fritos. You burn my food, I burn you. Hellgratulations. This might be the worst thing I ever put in my mouth.
That one really confuses people because that's a good thing.
This tastes like my childhood, just the way God used to make it. I like your juxtaposition of ingredients. My butthole is going to love barfing this out later. Yum, yum. Satan happy. High five for this sinful dish. Yummy. Now I can sit back, relax, and enjoy some hellfire. Nice dinner, dickhead. That stinks, in a good way. Not bad. I kind of like it. Huh? Hi guys, I'm the devil. Make me something to eat and cook it perfectly, or else. Ha 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 ha. Ha. I'd like a sandwich with no bread.
Okay. And then I want to show you guys some music stuff too. For the music, we use my friend Baby's music. This is what the original. We just needed all this music all of a sudden, and I worked a lot with this artist, Baby, and this was one of the things we made together. Actually, I wrote this fake commercial called Knife. It's a knife that's like a Nike blade, and this is also the theme song. Okay, there's that one. And then this is another song. This is a song that we used in the game, and it was actually, he originally made this as a music video for a character that he does called Pepper Ann, who I'm a big fan of. It's kind of like this like funny RPG style character.
It's time to take your body to the dance floor. Show 'em what you got. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle down low. 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 Wiggle to the floor. Wiggle down low. Wiggle to the floor.
Ladies.
Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes. Wiggle like a bug. Wiggle like a bug. Touch your toes.
Fellas.
Wiggle down low. Wiggle down low. Wiggle down low. Wiggle down low. Wiggle to the floor.
You guys should check out his work. It's really good. All the Pepper Ann videos are really good. And does anyone have any questions for us? Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Everybody, a warm round of applause for Team Hellmouth. So we're actually gonna. You guys are so like sweet and well behaved that we're not gonna kick you out of the theater. So we're just gonna all stay in here, and we're gonna set up. So pardon the dust for our mystery bootleg party, which is gonna be hosted by our good friend Rachel Weil, and we will get that started for you. And actually, Josh, you want to tell them about service?
Yeah, so we will have service in here until 1 o'clock. So if you need to get an order in, do that before 1 o'clock. That is when the kitchen closes. And our super awesome service staff get to finally go home. Do remember, if you have a tab open right now, to close that out and tip very well. Thanks.